Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Car Connection Workshop. Your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, in the driver's seat, actually on my stool by my workbench. This little segment is about cooling system catastrophic failure. And see this cute little Jeep TJ Wrangler behind me, 1997? This is a little bit of a story as to what finally put that little Jeep in the wrecking yard. And we saved it from the crusher. So it's a survivor. So all the mechanics on it are all done. The engine's all put together now that we had to find a replacement motor. I've gone through it, it's all ready. But what put that Jeep in the wrecking yard was lack of cooling system maintenance. So what I'm about to show you is, I thought I had already thrown this out, but I had not, which is good. This is the original radiator out of this 97 Jeep Wrangler. And you notice the top right here, where the upper radiator hose goes to, is missing, broken right off, and the tank is split. There's a reason behind what this meant. Was somebody was not looking after the cooling system. That a head gasket was developing, and so exhaust pressure was getting into this radiator to the point where it blew the gooseneck right off this radiator. So leading up to that, whoever previously owned this Jeep would have had to have been seeing, first, engine temperature going into overheat situation. Number two, having to add coolant to the cooling system on a regular basis. And by the time it got the cooling system got to this catastrophic failure, it was all over. All over but the crying, as we say here in the Car Connection Workshop. So what happened to the motor? I have the story for you. So I took the old engine apart to see how bad the cylinder head blew. Well, I couldn't find the head gasket. I must have thrown it out. But it was blown through. These are the pistons out of the engine block of the original engine in this 97 TJ Wrangler. Now, without even looking, I can tell you this was cylinder number 1. This was cylinder number 2 out of 4. This engine got so hot and so troubled from this cooling system being overheated that this piston here is all chewed up and scored. It was beginning to seize itself into the cylinder bore. And look at how clean the face is. The face of this piston, I didn't clean this. All I did was wash the oil off. It's all washed. Why is it washed? From antifreeze entering the cylinder. Washed all the carbon off. So this was the first failure. The coolant was coming into this cylinder like crazy, and it was washing the cylinder down to the point where the piston began to score the cylinder. And there's all kinds of telltale signs. The side of this piston is completely ruined. This piston is ruined. And I know that the engine was running hot because the bearing in here is all scored and, if I flip it over, discolored. It was turning blue. Why? Because it was beginning to seize up and the coolant was washing down the cylinder and washing out the lubrication from the bearing surface. And I left this bearing in here on purpose to show you that it was getting hot and wearing the bearing rapidly. This bearing is completely worn out. It didn't seize the piston to the crank, but here's where the story gets worse. This is piston number 1. Look at how hot, there's no bearing in here, I removed it, how hot this bearing surface, this connecting rod, this is called a piston connecting rod. This thing was superheating. The bearing was so thin, when I pushed it out, it was razor sharp. That's why I threw it away. This is piston number 1. Now here's what happened. This vehicle was running down the road. It was running hot. They're continuing just to fill up the cooling system and ignore the cooling system has a really big problem. So the engine's running hot. That's the proof of the bearings and the blueness. Well, this cylinder filled right up with coolant, and pistons cannot pressurize coolant. It blew a hole right in itself. It blew the center right out of the piston. And it took out the valves in the cylinder head. I didn't bring the cylinder head in. It's a mess. Well, this piston, look at how chewed up it is. It was getting washed with coolant, and it was beginning to seize. It didn't break the wrist pin in here, which surprises me. But what it did do was this piston came up in the cylinder bore, and it was trying to squash fluid, and that tells me this engine was going down the highway when the cylinder head gasket failed 100% and antifreeze came gushing into this cylinder, filled up the cylinder, the piston came up, and it locked itself. And to get the pressure out, it blew a hole right through the center of this piston, and it would have taken the antifreeze through the bottom of the piston. See if we can get my finger in there. Hello. Hello, hello. So the coolant came rushing through here right into the oil pan. Engine done. Just like that. How could this have been avoided? Very easily. Maintenance. That's what put this little Jeep in the wrecking yard where I found it. And I looked it over and I said, what a shame it is that this thing got thrown away like that. So that's what wrecked this Jeep. And it all could have been avoided by flushing out your cooling system every couple of years. I don't care what the manufacturer says. I don't care what the owner's manual says. I will tell you this. Spoken right into my ear from an engineer at a car manufacturer, said to me, and we became good friends, he said, Niall, the owner's manual and the information in there for maintenance is only a suggestion. It's not the gospel. They're only suggestions. So what we like to hear is consumers, but I like to say we are consumers. As soon as we believe that everything in the owner's manual, oh, you don't need to change the spark plugs for 100,000 kilometers. Oh, the coolant is lifetime. We have bought into the lies of the manufacturer. It all comes down to you taking charge of your vehicle maintenance. This could have all been avoided by maintaining the cooling system and paying attention, not waiting until the coolant light is coming on or the temperature gauge is flailing all the way up, that there's a problem. The problem is the consumer. Many of you have become consumers. I didn't buy into it. I've been in this trade and licensed since 1988, but I've been around vehicles and changing engines and working with my pops since I was 13. The moment you buy into this maintenance free, they got you. They got you right where they want you. They don't want you fixing your vehicles. They want you getting out of your vehicle every 2 to 3 years and getting a new one. They don't want you fixing it and maintaining it and taking care of it and loving on it. They just want to move some more sheet metal and rubber. So that is the story of this Jeep right here. And when I got it all back together, I can tell you, I could drive this for 20 years when I'm done. 20 years. And put 500,000 miles on it. Why? Because I like to do the maintenance. And I understand maintenance. And I understand preventative maintenance. So the person who destroyed this Jeep because of lack of maintenance, that's what it looks like. Those are the results. What I'm showing you is the results of neglect and lack of maintenance and thinking and buying into and becoming a consumer that everything is maintenance free on your automobile. It's not true. It's a lie from the pit of hell. So I wanted to share that with you because that's why this Jeep ended up in the wrecking yard, because somebody does now, they knew the motor blew up, they knew it was going to be big money, and that's what it takes for the next person to take it over and be the next caregiver. So this Jeep is going to serve us well in the bush, hauling firewood out and taking our equipment to our wood yard, because I heat my home, our home, with wood, and this is going to be our ticket to doing that. And I'm not beating up on my FJ Cruiser. Not to say that I'm going to beat this up. I will take very good care of it and keep it maintained, but all the mechanical is all done. Axle shafts in the front, brakes in the front, brakes in the rear, fuel system, complete brake lines, all done because they were rotten. So why did this end up in the wrecking yard? What are they worth today? What would this cost you to buy it today? A lot of money. $60,000, $70,000, $82,000. Well, when we're done with this Jeep and it's all back together, I'm going to show you how much it cost to put this Jeep back on the road. You are going to be blown out of your mind. So that's all I wanted to share for you, to just kind of explain how did it get there and what happened. That's what happened. Lack of maintenance, not paying attention, not caring. This Jeep should have lasted years and years and years. So till next time, like, subscribe, share, click on the notification bell so that you get notified when new videos are launched on our YouTube channel. We drop them in there. 2 for Tuesday, 1 on Friday, so you get 3 videos every single week from the Car Connection Workshop. Don't forget to follow us, like us, and follow us on Facebook. Niall Motormouth Jenkins is our page, our channel on Facebook, and Niall Motormouth Jenkins is our YouTube channel. So keep it under 100, happy motoring, and put the coffee on. We're coming to your house.